Salutations, respected viewers. I'm George from Ireland. Here I am outside the main Moravian Church in London, and it's only the second time in my life I've seen the gate to it open, so I'm going to go in. No doubt we might be chased away in a minute. And there you can see their emblem, as in that lamb with a halo carrying the flag with a cross on it, and indeed a cross on the flagpole, and then the Latin words meaning our lamb has won, let's follow the lamb. So we'll go in. So the Moravian Church, it started in the mid-15th century, what we now call the Czech Republic. I think it's the further eastern bit of the Czech Republic is Moravia, but there's a large ethnic German minority then. And so it's almost before the Reformation, really. Some people broke away from the Catholic Church and set up a Protestant church called the Moravian Church, but it spread through the German-speaking world. And they were often persecuted in southern Germany, in the Catholic states. And some of them came to this country, particularly in the 18th century, 1742, and they were en route to the Antilles. They were going to evangelize amongst the black people who were held in thraldom in the British colonies. But anyway, some of them stopped and stayed here. They met John Wesley, Charles Wesley, the founders of Methodism. Okay, so about to head in and have a look at the church. So it's called Fetter Lane Church, but we're not on Fetter Lane. We're in Chelsea beside King's Road. But the original church at Fetter Lane was destroyed, ironically enough, by a German mob in 1941. So they already had a graveyard here. They called it God's Acre. So they decided to relocate here. So that they built a new purpose-built church rather than these sort of adapted buildings. They've taken quite a lot around the old graveyard, but the graves are not very visible. It's quite a big area. They might say, "What are you doing here?" Well, they didn't say I wasn't allowed to come in, but there we go. There you'll see the graveyard behind me. So they worship here a Sunday. There are occasionally things going on in the midweek, and some of their well-known divines are here. But anyway, a bit of peace and quiet away from the noisy road. Why would they object to me walking around? Why would they take exception to me filming? They didn't say people can't come in or that kind of thing. So what's the difference between seeing it and filming it? So this is where worship takes place. Very plain and simple, because it's that type of Christian denomination which isn't too much into jazziness, ritual, colourful robes and so on, near the simplicity and the humility of the early church. That's the way they would see it. Anyway, so they're all over the world. There's not a huge Protestant denomination, the Moravian Church. What else would I point out about them? Yeah, I remember in Belfast seeing a Moravian church there as well. So that's really about enough about the Moravian Church here by Chelsea. Because Chelsea was one of the plushest areas in London. Look over there. Of course, it was a countryside area if you go back to say 1800, because it was just to the west of Westminster, and then some vegetable gardens were set up to supply London with groceries. And then the coming of the railways really changed things when Victoria Station was built in the 1840s, and then suddenly the value of this land went up, and it became a very chic area to live. The King's Road had run through it. King Charles II had that built so he could go from Kensington Palace down towards Kew. There was a swampy area just off it, and there were footpaths, and highwaymen were going to rob people. Now, nobody would be unwise enough to attempt to rob His Sacred Majesty, because obviously he had plenty of armed guards with him. Other people might get robbed. Oh, look, and all these coats of arms of people. Well, I don't know anything about this because I've never been in here. Don't know who they are. So you must come in here yourself. And nobody's saying, "What are you doing? Bugger off." Wouldn't be terribly Christian. Oh, well, this is a little area for children to play, looks like to me. Okay. So a big area of ground. Wish they'd do something a bit more with it. Okay, all right. This is their last resting place. Their mortal remains of all these faithful Moravians. But much more could be done with that. I'm not saying people shouldn't have a graveyard. Well, that's all really from the Moravian Church in Chelsea. And the building doesn't look like it's open. I shan't try it. They might take too much exception to that. So make sure you're subscribed. I am George from Ireland. So remember to book lessons with me in English literature, English as a foreign language, history, religious studies, geography, French, law, and get me to help you with dissertations, theses, essays, coursework, elocution, interview preparation, public speaking, things of that nature. And make sure you choose me as your tour guide in Londinium. All right, so I've respected the beauty and tranquility of this historic close as the cyclists have joined me. Right, a cheery bye-bye. This is in Chelsea. This is the Moravian Church, so-called Fetter Lane Church off the King's Road. Cheery bye-bye, Mr. Ted would say.